Support the David Pakman Show and pick yourself up a Janus smartwatch designed by Kronos Blade. I love mine. It can do anything my phone can do. You can take photos with the dual camera, video conference, download any Android app, use it as a fitness tool. It can make calls like a phone. It has GPS. It has one of the biggest screens out there, 1.6 inches. Check it out using the link right underneath this video. I told you on Monday that 105 House Democrats now publicly support an impeachment inquiry against Donald Trump. That number has increased, and the House Democrats have now reached and surpassed the 50% mark to get to an impeachment inquiry. The House has 435 members. Half plus one is 218. The number of Democrats now supporting an impeachment inquiry is at least 109, exactly half of that 218. And according to some reports, it's as high as 117, including the support of former Republican Congressman Justin Amash, who we have talked about is abandoning the Republican Party for very good reasons that indicate his concern with what's going on there. So remember, Republicans are not needed to reach 50% plus one support because Democrats took control of the House in the 2018 midterms. Another one of the ways in which that election was extremely important, and every election is important. Now, there are a few things that are continuing to hold this number back. Why is there not more support for an impeachment inquiry in the House of Representatives? Number one, if Nancy Pelosi, the Democratic Speaker of the House, said, yeah, it's time to start the impeachment inquiry, that would instantly increase support among Democrats in the House of Representatives. Secondly, there are Democrats in red states who are worried about the consequences in their 2020 reelection campaigns if they support an impeachment inquiry that their constituents don't like. I do not think that this is a real issue. The power of incumbency is going to be outdone by simply standing up for what you believe in, or let me kind of frame it a different way. If a Republican can knock out an incumbent Democrat simply by saying the Democrat is bad because they wanted an impeachment inquiry, that's not a Democrat who has a very strong hold of their district to begin with. So I don't buy that nonsense for even a second. And then there's one other important thing to remember, which is that half of House Democrats, or a little more now, publicly support an impeachment inquiry. Of course, there are more who support it privately, but for different reasons have not yet decided to go public. Could be for the reasons I mentioned before, could be for reasons I haven't mentioned. The number 109 is noteworthy, or 117, or whatever the number is. It's noteworthy both for how large it is and for how small it is. What I mean by that is, on the one hand, it's not common for half of the members of one party in Congress to want to start an impeachment inquiry against the president. When Barack Obama was president, you didn't have half of House Republicans wanting an impeachment inquiry against him because it wouldn't have made any sense. With George W. Bush, you didn't have half of Democrats wanting to start an impeachment inquiry against George W. Bush, and he did some really, really bad things. So this is a very large number in the sense that it's trouble for Donald Trump. But there's another side to that. How is it that only 109 or 117 members of Congress are publicly for an impeachment inquiry, given everything that we have already learned? All that needs to happen is Nancy Pelosi saying, I believe we need to start an impeachment inquiry. If she does that, it's over. It's already unusual to see 109 or 117 break with the public view of the Speaker of the House from their own party. If Pelosi comes around, we will have an impeachment inquiry. In the end, she should come around because it's the right thing to do and it's her job. The only good argument I have heard for not starting an impeachment inquiry today is the idea that starting it in 6 months might be more damaging to Donald Trump, and I would be okay with that. Short of that explanation, I don't see any reason not to start an impeachment inquiry immediately, and I want to hear from you about it. Make sure that you're following The David Pakman Show on Instagram at David Pakman Show, and while you're there, throw me a follow as well at david.pakman.